does not go the way it should go, then he can have a conversation with us as he exits the building.
Okay.
So I let him know we need to have a discussion. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for us to have the discussion, I go upstairs to where this incident happened to find. I want to see exactly where he grabbed them from.
The monitors
Stuff like that.
from the
And
cubicles.
amongst finding this out, I found out that there were no monitors in the cubicle he was sitting in, which led me to ask questions because every cube in that building had 2 monitors, keyboards, a mouse, and a dock. I know I put them in there physically myself. So for there to be one to not have it and him have to go get some, that means the shit in that cube went somewhere else.
Okay.
So I start asking questions, and one of his subordinates, reluctantly, not thinking about what he was saying, lets me know that he let 2 of his subordinates that are working from home now take their shit to the house without even talking to nobody, not telling nobody nothing. So let's say, okay, they're working from home. If we hired somebody to have to sit in those cubicles, I would have assumed that my equipment was still there. They would have come in and went to work and not had shit.
So like I'm getting
reamed because of it.
So if somebody would have walked into there, brand new employee, they just got hired, and you're told like, "Hey, you're in cubicle B2," and they just walk in a cubicle and nothing's there.
Nothing's there.
They would have been like, "I can't do my job," and you'd be like, "What? What do you mean can't do your job?"
Yep, and then it would have been somebody crawling up my ass because of it. So I give you a dollar figure. The monitors, the dock, the keyboards, and the mouse, we're talking right at $1,000 worth of equipment that just went home with the light.
just $1,000. Yeah, that's just enough to buy me a new graphics card and then have some leftover money. So wow, $1,000.
So now I was already upset because he was moving shit around without permission. Now I am fucking livid because I've got $2,000 worth of equipment that has decided to go home with people.
With employees.
Just the mouse and the keyboard. It's not as big of a deal because they have
spares.
when he finally comes to have this conversation with me, I guess he already has an inkling that his ass is in trouble. He stops at my door, looks at me and kind of tilts his head like, I don't really want to fucking come here. I said, come on in and have a seat.
You ain't going nowhere.
He's like, I really don't want to. I said, I'm not. I said, I'll tell you what, you can come in and have the conversation with me, or I can get up and go get Dennis and you can have D and you can have the conversation with him.
Yeah, we can have the conversation then together.
Yeah, so he comes in and sits down. I said, I'm a pretty chill guy, I would think. Generally speaking, if you come to me and you need something like another monitor
on the day of my daughter's
wedding, or you need a keyboard because your keyboard's trash now or something, I will order you one and won't even ask why, because you need shit to do your job, and my job is to facilitate that.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you move shit around or let people take my equipment home and don't even tell me, then I don't know to even order replacements.
Mm-hmm.
Which then causes an issue because now I'm on the hook for that shit. And in case you didn't know, our CEO has made it a point to let me know that every cubicle in this facility should have two monitors, a keyboard, a mouse, and if it requires a laptop, a dock for that laptop. Every one of them, whether there's somebody assigned there or not, it needs to be ready for whoever comes.
Dino's ready.
I have gotten my ass chewed 2 weeks earlier because of this shit. Because somebody went and wiped the entire cube out for somebody. No mouse, no keyboard, no mouse pad, no monitors, no docks. There wasn't even an office chair in it.
Okay.
It was a blank cube. It looked like they had just set it up day one before they hired anybody in this plant. Now, I get my ass chewed about that, so it makes me sensitive. And then I find out about this.
Okay, so it might have been a recurring theme, or do you think this was a one-time incident?
I explained to him in no uncertain terms that he would have them return my equipment that day, or I would go to HR. Because at my place of business, it's a 3 write-up termination policy.
For each item took from the cubicle?
One no, it's just an overall 3 write-up termination.
Just for one?
3 offenses.
3 offenses for one thing.
You're gone. Okay. So I pointed out, first offense, you moved my equipment and did not ask. It does not belong to you. That's a write-up offense.
Okay.
Second offense, one of your employees took equipment home. Did not go through IT. Third offense, another employee took their equipment home. Fourth offense, I mean, we just keep going.
I would say anybody watching from his
this, and you proceeded to ignore them and tell them that you did not.
So he looks at me. He goes, "So all of those would count as an individual event?" I said, "Yes, because they were separate events."
Mm-hmm. Anybody from HR? Don't take this.
It's not like you went in, just one person, and said, "I'll take all 4 of these and take them home and move these over here." It wasn't one person.
Mm-hmm.
See, you messed up because it's 3 different individuals, which makes it 3 different offenses that are all pointed at you because it's your department.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 4 was ignoring a warning.
I was like, what did you think was going to happen, bro?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really? Do you think I was never going to find out? I mean, even if this had waited until somebody started, at some point I'd have walked up there and there wouldn't have been nothing there. You were caught regardless.
Yes. Like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine because no one knew about it but you. But now everybody knows about it. Again, anybody from HR or the bosses, don't worry, you handle it.
he goes to stammering, and before I know it, he's sending an email to someone else from his phone telling them, "You need to get an email to these guys. I need that shit back here now."
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Come back that afternoon. My fucking equipment.
I bet a lot of people that was working from home gone.
And some pissed off people because they didn't know that they had done something wrong because their manager said it was okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Like, I'm about to get in trouble from what my boss told me what was okay.
They didn't get in trouble for it, but they were mad they were having to return it.
Yeah, and especially when they still need something like that from work. So now they returned something. They returned it to your place of work. But now they're going to be like, okay, but now I need a request for that stuff back because I need that for work.
Here's the thing. No, you don't get it. You don't. We don't even supply virtual users. What we call a virtual user is someone that works completely at home. Let's say you were employed.
Those were working from home.
Mm-mm. Let's say that you are employed by us and your job, you get to sit at home to do your job.
Yeah.
The only thing you're going to get from me is a dock for your laptop and a laptop. If you want a fucking keyboard and a mouse, you want a monitor, you better have one because in today's age, our company looks at it like, who doesn't have a fucking monitor at their house and a keyboard and mouse? Really?
Yeah, that's why
I to buy that shit. So now they're pissed off because guess what they got to do? You better go spend some money if you ain't got it.
Yeah, you want to stay at home, you better fork it up. It's now the choice is, hey, do I spend money driving back to work and going into work every day, which will probably increase my productivity because I'm not focusing on everything else around the house, or B, go and buy my own monitor, even if it's a cheap one from a thrift store.
They're now considered remote employees.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not come back into the office as an option.
Oh, damn.
Until they request it. They have to request and be approved to come back into the office. If they don't, the only thing they can do is go to Wally World, baby, and pick up a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse.
Just go to a thrift store. There's always some there. Pick up some cheap ones.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm actually pretty productive when I work from home. But then again, that's because I'm multitasking like a freaking bitch.
Some people can. Some people have that ability. Like, I firmly believe, because of your work ethic with your streams and your podcasts and stuff, I firmly believe you're one of those people that you could work from home.
Mm-hmm.
You would have no issue doing it. You'd clock in when you're supposed to clock in, do your job, and clock out. I believe that. I also know there's people that can't because they don't have the discipline to not be wanting to do everything else around them while they're there.
Yeah. Like I've seen videos like on shorts where people like have mouses and like have some kind of mechanism to move the mouses every now and then just to keep them look like they're still active on their computer while they're at home working. It's like,
but here.
Probably not as efficient at work, because I have people around me that constantly beg for my attention, whether it be tech related, like somebody's favorite little person, Mr. R-rated.
R-rated.
He tends to always go like, hey, I need your help. I need your tech help. I know your husband does it, but I know you do it too. Can you come help me? Look at that. It's a good thing we have a tech person up here. You know, he's constantly aggravating the fuck out of me.
I scared the shit out of him, too.
Lord
he thought he was in trouble.
Lord Preston says, I'm not much different from my company of employees. You have to sign out of the laptop. We don't supply keyboard or mouse or monitor. I guess it's a standardized things. If you work from home, you got to be able to have the equipment to handle your stuff.
I'm going to give you a laptop to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm going to give you a dock.
It's the extra stuff.
I'll give you a dock. And that's us being nice. In most companies, they don't even give you docks. They say, here's a laptop. Here you go.
Yeah.
Everything else, you better go buy yourself.
Yeah, if you want an external monitor or a second monitor, you better plug it to that laptop. You want a keyboard, you better plug it to the laptop. You better hope you have enough ports.
So the moral of the story is don't fucker with the IT guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the IT guy's wife.
I'm like, right now, as the head of my department likes to say, you like the Godfather. He's like, I don't know anybody else that can be told you have 6 weeks to do what you're doing right now. And inside of 2 weeks, half the construction's done.
Okay, I
say
like,
I don't know who you know, what you knew, who you talked to.
Anybody from Corvo's company that watches this podcast, this is what you do. You go get big and buy this one of the really big, heavy desk that you can face over the desk and have it pointing straight toward the door. So that's where Corvo. When you come in, you see Corvo sitting there behind the desk. You know, a big old chair just sitting there. And if you want to be really fancy, get him a stuffed cat. So when they come to the door asking requests, he has a full scene and full setup just ready for it. Just going, yes, what can I do for you?
So you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, not as support for my family, but to ask me for a favor.
I will tell you the aftermath of the chewing gap.
Okay.
It was beautiful. I believe this man has terrified the other one.
The other one?
Bad.
He
went outside for a smoke before he came back upstairs.
It's like
because all I could smell on this man was freaking cigarette smoke.
I was like, boss, have you smoking today?
So usually you barely smell it, if at all, on him. He doesn't really.
I made him chain smoke.
So I'm going to give you a small demonstration of what happened. I am sitting in my cubicle. I'm all good. I'm just chilling. And I hear coming up the steps, and I know exactly where he's coming from. I hear him come up the steps, and I hear, where is she? Where is she? And I'm going like, well, I know who he's talking about. I'm my chair towards my cubicle door, looking through the glass. I'm just waiting. I'm like,
it's okay, Mama's just being dramatic, baby.
Bring it. Just come on. I know what you're coming for.
She stood up, got her ears up. Mama's stomping.
So he comes in, walks between the two. There's like a little hallway right here. Comes to the window, sees me looking at him, and goes, "You." I'm like,
I told you.
Like, what do you want from me, sir? He walks into my cubicle and he just sticks his hand out. Now I am completely and utterly confused. I have no fucking idea. So I look at him and I just kind of squint at him like, "What do you want?" And he just. So I stick my hand out. And he grabs it. He shakes it. He's like, "Good job. You got my ass kicked." Like, what the hell? I'm like, well, I warned you. I told you not to do that. Yeah, but I didn't think. I was like, I told you not to do it. Well, it doesn't matter. You got what you want. He walks away, and I'm just like, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a proud of that situation. I wouldn't even be like, of course, most bosses, they won't admit their wrongs. They wouldn't even confess, like, yeah, I did that. They'll come up with some bullshit reason why they did it and then thinking you're just going to go along with it.
The thing is, it was not technically my boss. It's my boss's boss.
So, step above.
He sits quite behind me. And he comes in, he's just like, you could tell it pissed him off slightly, but he's also slightly laughing about the shit because he did not believe that this would ever happen to him. And I just chilling, don't care. And he's like, I don't know how to deal with her to begin with because he hasn't known how to deal with me from day one. And he doesn't know what to do with me now because I just told on him with no possible repercussions from him for now that he can think of, and he's just going like,
see, and the thing is apparently this has also terrified other people that work directly for him. Because I was cutting up with one of those people. I was joking because we was doing a silent auction, and one of the things on the silent auction was a mini fridge.
Yeah.
And I bid on it, and then I found out this person bid on it. So I was cutting up.
They didn't bid on it. They were thinking about it.
I was cutting up with him as I was walking by, and I was like, "Oh, I see how it is. So you just gonna try to like outbid me on my fridge and stuff like that?" He's like, "No, hold, no, I was thinking about it. I'm telling you, I just told the girls I was thinking about swapping it out with the one we had. No, I'm like, he's like, "No, I'm not trying to take your fridge from you." I'm like, "Listen, dude, I'm joking." He's like, "Okay, we good." And I'm like, "Yeah, we good." And he's like, "Yeah, because you scared the shit out of me right now." I'm like, "Dude." I'm like, you're like 6'7", 300 pounds, and you're scared of me? Really?
It's like you are a hidden mafia that owns like 5 or 6 stores in a district area that no one knows that you own it. You just walk through. It's like, yeah, FYI, I'm your daddy. It's like, what do you mean?
And now they don't know what to do with her because they're finding out that there could be repercussions for fucking with her. They're like, I don't know what we do in this situation.
I mean, think about it. I got his boss fired. I helped do that. And then the girl that quit couldn't come back. They're looking at me there. She's like, she's the one who gets people to leave. And they stay gone.
What happened to that one? I don't know if she was a Hispanic girl. That was the guy. The girl that was working with Corvo that was being hit on by Corvo's ex-boss. What happened to her? Is she still there?
Yeah, she's here.
B's still there.
B's still here. Matter of fact, B should be moving down here by the end of next month.
Okay, because I haven't heard a thing about her since she's getting harassed.
She's Turkish.
Sorry. I just remember she was being harassed by the boss, and you were like watching
over.
It was
funny too, because just like a week or two ago, she was down for a week.
She was looking for him,
and she sticks her head in the door and looks, and she's like, "I hear he's gone." I'm like, "Yeah, he's gone." She's like, "Cool, I'm gonna bunk in here with you." Then he brings her crap in there and starts sitting down. I'm like, "Why are you coming in here?" She said, "I trust you." And she sticks her head out. She said, "There's lots of men out there." I'm like, "Well, I mean, what you gonna do? You cute, so there ain't much you can do. You gonna get hit on." She's like, "But I don't get hit on when I'm in here with you." I was like, "Yeah, because they scared shitless of me." I'm like, they worried that I'm just gonna get up and crack somebody in the head because I might have done that one time. But
yeah, I'm just glad that she's all right. Glad that the discomfort. You don't want to be discomforted about your job. You want to just do your job and go home. I just keep telling my wife, just go to work, go home. Come on, that's it.
She's good, and she's supposed to be down here in end of March. As of right now, she's tentatively going to be in the room with me until they decide whether they're going to put her in general population.
Yeah, put her in a cube. If she's a attention grabber, we don't need attention to be grabbed.
No, it's not that. It doesn't matter. How do I put it? The reason people don't fuck with me upstairs a lot is because A, who my husband is. B, the location of my cube. And see, because almost all the guys that actually do know me from the company will fuck the person that they will fuck them up over me. So I've got protection like in 3 different scenarios. She has only 1
so far. Give it time. She'll get her a little harem army if she's.
But, technically speaking, I could handle the lightweights myself anyway, but that's not the point.
But there's that. So now I'm gonna give you the scammer.
Yeah. Okay. So this scammer. When did this happen? Because you said yesterday. Okay.
Yesterday.
So all that I remember was
right before, like around 9:53 or some shit like that. I got this phone call.
Yeah, because I remember you like telling me like, okay, on Thursday might not be no stream because I'm going out to get some things. I'm like, okay, no stream tomorrow. We're cool. We can just keep on doing what I normally do, and then we'll get back to him streaming next week. And then you have to get a message going, "Oh my god, scammed." I'm like, oh shit. Was this the same thing or was this something entirely different?
This is hilarious. So I'm going to start with this. If anybody does not know, right on the website for the Department of Homeland Security, it states that if the Department of Homeland Security has a problem with you or is launching an investigation on you, they are not going to call you about it.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't want you to know that they're about to wreck your world.
Yes.
It's right there. So, for all the people that may or may not be watching this, if you get a call, I'm podcasting. If you get a call and they say they're from the Department of Homeland Security, they are full of shit. Know that right out the gate. They're not going to call you.
It's just like somebody saying, "Hey, your password, your account's been hacked. We need your password and information." Or because that stuff is a scam too. Or you owed Amazon thousands of dollars.
They try. These people legitimately are trying. So they will call you and say, "Hey, I'm Agent such and such from the Department of Homeland Security. This is my badge number, blah, 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 blah. Please take it down. This is my name. Please take it down. Just so you know, the badge numbers are auto-generated. They're fake, but they are in the right format to be badge numbers for the Department of Homeland Security.
So these people are trying to be legit.
They are giving you fake names and badge numbers and case numbers because that is the first step to get you to believe that they are who they say they are.
Okay. So this gentleman give you all the rundown.
All right. So, and here comes the next thing. We're wanting to let you know that we're lodging an investigation into you because we have intercepted some packages that had contraband and or large sums of money in them. And upon finding this, we done some digging and found that you had a facility purchased in this location. We raided it. We found this, this, and this. You're now under investigation. There's a chance of doing this and this and this kind of prison time, this kind of this and this and this. Just so you know that I am who I say I am, I will tell you that you live at this address and you work at this address. All of this shit is legit information as far as the address that you work at, the address you live at, because anybody can find that shit on Google, okay?
Yeah, but like, wait. They knew where you worked at, though? Like, I feel like that's a little bit of evasion of privacy if they're not legit.
Well, no. When I say legit, I mean they're giving you real information as far as like the addresses and stuff. The bullshit about finding a facility in your name, raiding it, your package being held, that's all smoke and mirrors. It's bullshit.
Okay, so wait a second. How can you find where someone works at?
It's
by
real
Google.
Easy. It's called you can go to LinkedIn, you can go to any place that people link up their information about work. Like hell, I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because it's a professional media page for other businesses to be looking for talent, right?
So
you're supposed to, with certain companies, have a link.
And anybody can look up your address if they know your name.
But say like if they know your name, they've already scouted you out, or they already like
no. All they do is they run a fucking program and it spits a fucking name out. and then they search it.
Okay,
They get the address for where you work, they get the address for where you live, and that's information that is legitimate.
Mhm.
So when they tell it to you, you're thinking, if you're not a smart person
Mhm.
or you're a person that doesn't know as much about technology, let me rephrase that. I apologize. If you're not a very technologically inclined person, because you know they gave you the right address of your employment and the right address of where you live, now you're thinking they're legit because only the government would be able to find this information. That's how most people that aren't tech savvy think.
Yeah, like I guess like they found you on Facebook and went target locked, and then they start looking
Okay.
up all your information afterwards.
When they give you this, that's them trying to legitimize themselves to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start hitting you with, these are the charges that we're going to investigate against you. This, and this.
All the levies,
and,
all the stuff they would levy on you. Okay.
Then they're going to ask you, then they start asking you questions like, hey, if you're saying you're innocent of this stuff, then this is your two options.
Okay,
You
what were the
can wait
options?
you can wait for the investigation to happen and possibly be detained until proven innocent.
Uh-huh.
And with that, if you're not proven innocent, these are the types of sentences you could face in prison.
Okay.
Or you can opt to say, I'm innocent, and say that you want to help us with this investigation to catch the person that has stolen your identity that's doing these things.
Okay.
Well, no fucking body wants to go to prison.
No.
So again, if you're not a very technologically inclined person, you're going to say, hey, I want to help you catch this some bitch that did this to me, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Then they're going to ask you questions, generalized questions like, hey, we're not going to ask you for account numbers or anything. We just want to validate certain pieces of information to make sure you are who you say you are, so we can reference that against what we say we found.
Mm-hmm.
And find out who's doing this shit to you. So they're going to say, Grumpy, can you just give me the name of your bank? You don't have to give me the account number or any of that. I just need the name of the bank. Can you give me the name and model of your car? You don't have to give me registration or anything like that. Just the name and model of your car. Now, honestly, giving them the name of your bank or the model of your car ain't really going to do them a whole lot of good. Because they still have to hack the bank institution to get the numbers because they didn't ask for them. Or they have to hack the DMV to find out information about your car. But what they're doing is trying to get you to believe they are who they say they are by making you feel like, okay, they're not asking me for information that can harm me.
Mm-hmm.
Lull you into a sense of feeling like they are who they say they are. And then slowly they'll work up to that. Okay, so what was that bank account number again? Or what was that credit card number again? Or what was that registration number for your car again?
Yeah.
They slowly lead you there after they feel like they have gotten you on the hook.
So when did they start trying to do that with you?
That day. They called me.
Okay.
Hi, I'm agent such and such. This is my badge number. I want to tell you that there's a case filed. We're investigating you.
Yeah, like how far into the call did they start going from like, hey, trust me,
dude,
to like,
I let them try to run their gambit.
Okay.
I had fun with this fucker.
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of fun. I even reported them afterwards.
Okay.
So I realized what was going on.
Mm.
I kicked the record function on my phone on.
Okay.
So everything they said was being recorded.
All right.
Okay. So I went down this whole spiel. They went, we got a package. It had this stuff in it. You're going to be charged with these charges.
I hate to be that guy. Did it have an accent?
Yes. he fucked up from the get-go because you know what I mean. It was like, I was like, obviously this is not the Department of Homeland Security.
Hello. This is the Department of
Anyway.
What the fuck, bro?
We're going through this thing, and I know what information I can give him without harming myself and what I can't.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I know how to let him keep talking, okay?
Uh-huh.
So he's like, do you deny this package is yours, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen, dude, this is the first I heard of this. Like, I'm a broke bitch. I'm a broke Southern boy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
You're talking about packages and borders, and I don't even know what the hell you talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, so you're claiming you're innocent. That's good. He said, so then he gave me the rundown, like, you know, these are your options. And I'm like, oh, no, I want to catch this motherfucker that's doing this shit to me, man. No, I want to help. What can I do to help? He's like, okay, so since you want to help, I have to tell you, you're now under an NDA. You can't discuss this with anybody. Not your wife, not your kids, not your coworkers, not anybody. Has to be only between us. And I'm sitting here going, really? Are you fucking serious?
Like that, you know that won't hold up permissible in any court by saying verbal, this is NDA. What the fuck?
I was like, okay, I won't tell nobody nothing. He's like, okay, so now I can give you some more information because this is where the scare tactics start coming in. Okay, we know that this is your residence, but we also found that there's a residence in your name in this state, and it has been raided, and we have found this, and this, and this, and with all this amount, you could be facing this many years in prison, but since you want to help us catch this person, I'm going to ask you some basic questions. It won't be asking you for any account numbers or anything so that I can separate what is you from what is the person that has stolen your identity. I'm like, all right, bet. What you need to know? He's like, can you tell me the name of your bank and how long you've been banking there? And I stopped and I said, I don't know that I want to give you that answer. He goes, can you tell me why? I was like, because I'm starting to think you the motherfucker that's trying to do this to me instead of being someone trying to help me from being done to. He goes, but sir, I have not asked you for any information that would give me access to your accounts, just the name. He's like, if I was trying to hurt you, I would be asking you for like your social security number. I'm like, I could see that, but I don't know, man. Starting to feel a little wary about this, you know, since I've been in IT for almost 15 fucking years. He goes, click. And what's funny is as soon as it goes click, I watch the call log disappear from my phone.
Call log?
Yeah. So you know how when you finish talking to somebody, you can go back through your calls and you can see, you know, this was the number, this was the person, this is how long it disappeared.
So it was a what was it, a falsified number or a hot phone? What do you want to call it?
It wasn't just that it was a spoofed number.
Spoof.
He
There, it's
erased the call log from my phone.
How did he get the call log?
Anybody can do it if you know what type of phone they have. And
you even knew what kind of phone you had?
It's not hard to find that out because if they could find out your name, they could find out where you live, where you work, then they're going to see your number. And you can look up the carrier off of the number.
Yeah.
And usually the carrier will say, this is Android or this is iPhone.
Okay. So
all they need to know is what OS you're running. They can click a couple of buttons, knowing your phone number, and erase that shit.
So wait. So you tell me that even if you contacted your provider, they wouldn't be able to have the call records? Because nobody keep records of that, even text numbers.
This shit's gone.
Huh.
Because the way records work with call records is the call comes into your phone, and after the call is completed, in most carriers, that data is uploaded to your call logs.
Okay.
But if they wipe it, as soon as they hang up, it might not go to that call log. But again, I am me. This shit was running on record the whole time, which was also screen capturing. So I hang up and I go tell Jazz, I go tell Stealthy, I'm like, look, I don't think we got no problems, but just so you know, keep an eye on these things over the next couple of weeks. If we start seeing some shit that ain't kosher, we make some changes, you know, like accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think we got a problem. Well, then she looks up the number to the actual DHS and gives it to me. I come home at lunch and I call them. This DHS agent is fucking fantastic. He's trying not to cry laughing on the other end of the phone. Because I tell him what happens. And he's like, yeah, dude, this is happening all the time. This is happening to hundreds of thousands of people a day. He's like, as long as you didn't give them legitimate like account numbers, he's like, you could have told them what bank you're at. What the fuck good's it gonna do? They got to hack the entire bank to get your account, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, but the fact that you didn't give him any numbers is good. You should be fine. He's like, but let me ask you a couple of questions. He's like, did he have an accent? I said, I could play the accent for you. He's like, what now? I was like, oh, dude, I got it all on recording and screen capture. He's like, oh, fuck, I love you. He's like, just play it. I want to hear it because I haven't actually got to hear them run this scam yet. So I played it for him. He's like, he's like, you need to work for us. You walk this bitch right in. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I know he probably deleted the call log because that's their MO. He said, but did you happen to capture the number? I said, hang on. I sent him a screenshot of it. And he's like, holy shit. You got the number where it said it was coming from, the whole 9 yards. I was like, yeah, it's a spoofed number from North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, by the way, if you dial it, because I already have, it's disconnected. He said, that sounds about right. So he did all his stuff. He's like, I cannot believe we have a legitimate recording of these people doing this shit now. And we have at least one spoofed number that they're using.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you're like a freaking wet dream for this investigation right now.
Like there's like whole YouTube channels that are dedicated to catching scammers that scam old people all the time for money and for their account and to hack into the computer to get their credit card information. Like and the whole thing is to mess with these people. They have hacked their cameras to see them in their country, in their facility, working beside everybody else, and they're all playing out these people. There's like there's a multi-million-dollar scam company in, I hate to say it, but in Indonesia and other countries like that, where they're just, the whole MO is just to make up these fake pseudonyms and fake things just to get people's money. And they get thousands of dollars, millions a day.
The thing that's funny about it is we go through the whole scenario, and then I was like, hey, before you get off the phone, because I know people around here, and they're probably getting hit with this shit too if it's hitting me. Just out of curiosity, because they're going to come ask me, because I'm that guy. I'm the IT guy. They're going to ask me what the fuck they should do. I was like, so how far do they need to worry depending on questions? He's like, honestly, they don't need to worry if they give them like the bank name or the car model or nothing like that. He said they have to do a whole lot of hacking into a whole lot of systems to get anything worth anything out of that. He said the only time they really need to worry is if they legitimately gave them like a credit card number or a bank number or the registration number to their vehicle or something like that. He said then they need to worry, because what happens is they go and take loans against the cars. They take mortgages against the houses, and then like they gain access to the bank accounts and stuff and steal their money. He's like, if that happens, this is what they need to do. They need to call us and report it like you did, and then they also need to call those institutions, those businesses, and report it to them and get all their shit changed, you know?
Yeah.
And most of those institutions will, because of the popularity of these scams, reimburse what's lost or whatever. They should be fine. He said, but even if they don't go that far, even if they just get as far as the person calling them, trying to run the scam, and they just hang up, they need to call us and let us know, because the more information we have, the faster we find them and shut them down.
Yeah. And the problem is like, it's not just people near us. It's sometimes it's the elderly people that like, they're not very tech savvy, not very well on, they're not very much even online. They don't even know what half of these things are when they get a call. It's like Amazon. What is Amazon? And of course they hear the FDA or any kind of government institution. They would just freaking out and think, oh my God, my life has been ruined. Oh, and then they would just completely be compliant. And it's so sad that this happening, and I feel like not enough information has been given to these people. Like my mom.
Here's another dead.
She could be fooled.
Just so y'all know, straight out the gate, if DHS is going to investigate you, if they are going to raid a facility of yours or anything like that, they're not going to call you and tell you they're fucking doing it. One.
Yeah, they're not going to be buddies.
Two, if they raid a facility, whether it's yours or not, and that shit is in your name, and they actually find something, they're not going to call you. What's going to happen is 10 minutes after they find it, they're going to call to a law enforcement agency that is close to you, like in your city, and them fuckers are going to show up at your house and arrest you. That's going to be your notification. Not a phone call, not a, hey, you could be charged with this. It's going to be you going out the damn door in handcuffs. So, I mean, there's warning signs all over it. The problem is most people don't know the information to know that that's that can't be true. Okay.
Yeah.
Because in reality, even if I didn't own a facility in whatever state it was, he said, if somebody had purchased it in my name and done this shit in real life, when they found whatever they found, 15 minutes later, on the other side of the fucking country, somebody would have been locking my ass up. It wouldn't have been hey, let me call you and tell you we found your stash of money and paraphernalia and shit. We wanted you to know that we're gonna arrest you. Okay, yeah, thanks for telling me. I'm gonna hop on that fucking plane to Guatemala right now.
Yeah, let me just skip country right now. Yeah, me and my wife actually talked about this yesterday. It's like, it'd be just like me if I ever get, this channel ever blew up, which I'll support. That can very much happen. Leaving a comment, leaving a like down below. But if my channel would ever blow up, I'm putting like my house on a bond so I can own the bond, but the bond owes my house when people can't find where the fuck I live that way. And then I'm getting a PO box. I'm not letting people know where I live because they can't fuck with me then. I'm not gonna have no cops showing on my door going, SWAT, is there a guy in there mugging you? No, I'm not having that. I am making sure that no one can swat me and have me in handcuffs out of nowhere because I know how they do nothing illegal. And that's some of the bigger fears that someday this happened to me because, me and you are public, publicly, showing ourselves. We're showing, yeah. We're online, and online is just as dangerous as a phone call. If the right person shows up the right way. But same thing goes to be said the other way. If someone comes online and tries to mess with me, I have an IT guy. That's just how it goes. We're both, the danger goes both ways. And I don't want that to happen to anybody, but it's, again, do stupid things, win stupid prizes. And the bad part is some of those companies are in Iran, Indonesia, and other places like that, where the FBI or FDA cannot just go over there and going, yeah, we have a warranty for your arrest. You gotta go through the political, bystanders of getting hold of the authorities nearby and hope they are not crooked too, because some of them are in the pockets of some of those companies.
Right. Especially, anyway, I thought you would enjoy that little story as it was going down. I was thinking, oh yeah, he's gonna eat this shit up.
I thought it was like someone trying to scam you, like with a Facebook buy or like someone like, hey, here's an item, give me money now, and you come pick it up.
Trying to scam me, saying I'm going to prison for like 10 to 20 years and shit, and I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
I got a good scam. Anybody want to just send us over to OI Meetup? You guys get to see everything.
So I've had someone on Facebook Market try to scam. He's like, yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch for sale at this address. Give me the money, you can come pick it up, or you just come up here and just blah blah blah. And was like, no item without no money without item. Give me item, you get money. Like that was gonna happen, Captain. But if there's a way of getting rich scheme, someone's out there's figuring it out and someone's doing it. There's plenty of them. Even on Twitch, even on YouTube, there's people who will scam you. It was like a couple months back, maybe a little less. Someone did a charity stream, and none of the money went to charity. There are scammers everywhere.
That surprised me. That's actually a pretty common one right now.
And they were a big channel, and they're like, "Oh, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. We didn't do nothing. We didn't do nothing. We're innocent." It's like, you got caught on 4K. Yet there's no innocent nothing. 4K. You were endorsing it for a long time. That's why if I ever get big, I'm like, I don't want to touch the money. The money goes straight to them. You do money donation, it goes straight to them. I don't want to touch it because I'm not gonna have to get caught up in that kind of scam. Scammers are a myth. Scammers are not a myth. That's humans. Well, yeah, humans again. If humans can figure a way of getting rich, they will do it. They will find a way. But anyways, okay. So speaking of scams and other things like that of crooked means, this would have run into my title, Polyworld, a game that I've been playing quite a few times on stream, that everybody's Power World, that everybody's calling right now a huge Pokemon ripoff. Now, this game was developed in Japan by a motley crew of people that have never built the game before, and they have yeah, so this game is a lot of fun. Okay, so think of Pokemon, but yes, you can do it. Pokemon with more of an adults in mind, but without the pornographic imagery.
Say it's more like Pokemon slash, from what I've seen, Minecraft kind of deal.
Yeah, so there's guns in this game.
That's what I would describe it as.
Yeah, there's guns in this game. There's combats. You can capture humans. You can massacre if you have a butcher knife. You can have them Pokemon fight each other, or not Pokemon pals fight each other, and then you can capture them with these little balls you can make. It is Pokemon, the survival game, but a little bit more mature. Like some Pokemon have guns. It goes so far. And this game is getting all the shit because of it. Because this game is so similar to Pokemon. Now, I'm sure you remember Monster Ranch back in the 90s.
Monster Rancher, yes.
You know, Digimon. That was back in the 90s. There was a number of rip-off Pokemon-like TV shows or card games or video games back when I was young. And now that this game's coming out, everybody's going, it's ripped off Pokemon. That looks like a Raichu. That looks like an Eevee. That looks like a Snorlax. That looks like blah 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 blah. And people are telling pretty much Pokemon, Nintendo, and Game Freak to sue because they think all over Twitter that they stole assets from Nintendo.
You gotta understand something too that I've seen. Like, I'm pretty sure you said you played it, right? Where did the pals come from?
On the grass in the world. I don't know where it came from. We're like, what do you mean that came from? Explain yourself a little bit better, please.
Okay, so what are the methods of getting a pal? For example?
Fighting them, but you can fight with your bare hands, so you can punch it out of them. Then you can throw one of those, well, I call them balls, but orbs at them.
Okay. That you can think of?
The only way I can think of catching them, or you can make the other pals fight each other. Just like,
You can, from what I understand, I have not seen this part.
Okay.
It's a rumor for me.
Okay.
I don't know about the breeding.
No breeding yet, nor evolutions.
Okay, so that is definitely a rumor then. But I do know, because I've seen it, they come from eggs.
You can get eggs out in the world, yes, but I haven't incubated them myself, but I think you can incubate them and have
somebody incubated. That's how I know.
Okay, yeah, but no breeding yet, and no evolutions yet. I think they might be working on that, but so far not. Huh?
I said that we know of, but a lot of them are like either they're similar or they're fusions of certain ones.
So,
let's be honest.
Some person got in trouble because they took a model from the game, one of the pal buddies, and a model from Pokemon, and then scaled it to similar size and proportions to one another to make it look like it was like a ripoff of Pokemon. But then people found out about it, and he had to say sorry because this person that made this game, remember, it's a ragtag of people. They're in Japan. Yeah. Japan has a no fair use laws, meaning you cannot get on somebody if they use your stuff. There's no fair use. So therefore, you can rip off each other off there because there's no fair use clause there in Japan. And they're similar in a lot of ways, but there's also a lot of dissimilarities. And people are saying that this game is also trash because it was made by AI. which the maker of the game never specified or said that he used AI in order to make his pals, or his crew never used AI, but the main person that's running it said he likes the idea of AI though. Like he's openly adores saying, I like AI and I think AI is a tool to help make things, I think AI could be a good thing in the future. So because he stated that he likes AI, people are automatically assuming, oh, this is just another AI trash of like somebody just like, oh, I want an image of a Pikachu, and the AI made what they believe is a Pikachu, and then they took that model and threw it in the game, and that's all they did. And even though the game's been developing for 3 years now, and it kind of honestly feels like a 3-year-old game, because doesn't run that great. At least on my computer, it doesn't. So what is your thoughts? Do you think, when you look at the imagery, do you think people on Twitter have any ground to stand on to really say what is and what isn't a ripoff of Pokemon when Pokemon's already been...
So here's my opinion. For whatever it's worth. Guys, I know I have a following that disagree with me. It's fine. Just so you know, you are not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to give you more ammo now. So if you're running low, get your magazines out and your cartridges. My opinion, straight out, there are similarities. Obviously, you can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it mean they ripped them off? I mean, it's done in a country that doesn't enforce the whole "you can't take my shit."
Yeah, but
okay. Now, do I think that's fair? Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeah.
If I draw something or animate something that is mine, I don't want anybody just fucking taking it and doing what the hell they want to with it. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. But I can't speak for that country's political or whatever views on how they deal with that. Now, that being said, when you say rip off, you're assuming that nobody spoke to Nintendo or anybody else. Now, is there any proof that they didn't speak to them? Or is there proof that they did speak to them? Nah, we ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, Nintendo has not taken any actions in the past 3 years this game's been developed.
So I can't say, I'm not going to say they ripped them off. I'm not going to say they didn't rip them off. What I'm going to say is Nintendo's a big ass fucking company. And if Nintendo thought they had a leg to stand on, then they would be reaming their ass.
Yeah.
Or they could just be waiting until they make enough money that they can just
and that's true too. Nintendo may be going, okay, go ahead. Yeah, keep making money, and I buy your ass out right now.
Yeah, let me tell you how much they made within the first 24 hours. They broke records. And this is like a $24, $26 game. So it's not a $60, $80 game. No. $24, $25, even $26 in certain places. It made over $2 million within the first 24 hours, but then broke record close to $20 million. As far as I remember, I gotta check it up again.
Is that if Nintendo had a leg to stand on, they'd be reaming their ass. Okay?
Or, like I said, they could just be waiting.
FYI, just something else people might not know about companies like this. There is this strategy that companies like to use where they allow other companies to do this shit. Do you know why? Take a guess. Do you have any idea?
Not a clue.
Okay. So let's say you're thinking about an idea.
All right.
With one of your long-standing franchises, but you're not sure how it's going to be received.
Oh, I see where you're going here. I see where you're going.
So you're going to like, oh, well, these some bitches over here want to do it, right? Fuck them, let them do it. If it fails, it didn't hurt us. If it succeeds, fine, we'll undercut them and make a better version of them and fuck them anyway.
Yeah, okay, so the price...
If you don't think that these big companies, Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, they're not, you don't think these bitches are smart enough to go, I don't want to risk it, let these little fuckers risk it, and if it works, then we'll just steal it from them?
That's so true, so right. But yeah, they made $189 million. within the first few days of sales. So yeah, they've already broke records, and yeah, like people have been asking. Because I don't know about you, but I know me. I've been asking for a little bit more of a mature version of Pokemon for a while. I'm not about to talk about gore. I'm not talking about mutilation or even sex. I just something with a little bit more risk. Like it's Pokemon. These animals aren't these child cute friendly things. And according to all the Pokédex, these creatures are actually really dangerous. And the TV show shows it. Gyarados was not a cute, friendly Pokemon. It would attack you on sight. Sparrows would swarm you in large portions. Minkies and primates would jump out of trees and beat the heck out of trainers. It wasn't a safe, cute, friendly world. But yet, Pokemon stayed that way. I'm like, no, I want to see that grittiness, that danger of Pokemon. I wanted that.
But again, here's the thing. Like I said, if Pokemon's been hearing this for years, but they're not willing to, Nintendo's not willing to take the leap without someone showing that it's okay, it's going to receive and not trash their long-standing cash cow. Why the fuck not let some little pissant over here in the corner try it? And if they succeed, then we'll just make a better version of it and put them out of business. Or hey, why don't we just buy the motherfuckers? How about that? Everybody likes money. We'll give them plenty of money. Take their shit, revamp it, and make it better.
Yeah. Now
there are smart ass business minded people out there. You don't let somebody develop a game for 3 years that is similar to yours without having a fucking reason behind it. Especially if they're making millions of dollars right now. They're waiting. They're biding their time.
Yeah.
They have a plan.
Like if you see someone making something of your product and it's better, buy that better product so you can use it. Don't let it go to waste.
It's happened in multiple games. It's happened multiple times in multiple franchises where they're like, this guy made this vampire game and it's great. Wait, this little pissant over here made a better vampire game. Fuck it, we're gonna buy them, rebrand it, throw a skin on it. Now it matches our franchise, and boom.
Yeah.
We're making money.
We talked about this in the past before, where a lot of art and video games are art. A lot of art nowadays has been derivative of other arts, like in some way. Like not every regards. There are some true one-to-ones, but everybody steals ideas or thoughts or some kind of things in some ways to make their own little artwork and their ideas. So I'm sure the Pokemon's the same thing.
Question. This is the simplest question I can think of for that whole viewpoint right there. You like to draw, right?
Yes.
What makes you draw?
Inspirations of other people's artwork.
Okay, so how do you get inspiration? You see shit around you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling me that it's a ripoff if I'm inspired by Grumpet and I draw a Corvette.
No.
No, it's not a ripoff. You inspired me. I drew it. Now, if it's a little similar because it's happens to be chibi style in a female version. Well, fuck, I can't help that.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about that. It's different if I go and take Grumpet and literally just slap some paint on her and make her look like a female Corvo.
Yeah.
That's a ripoff.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't draw shit. I just colored that motherfucker. Okay. But if I just look at your Grumpet and I was like, oh, that's cool. It gives me an idea. And I draw my own version of a female, avatar for me, then that's not a ripoff. That's me actually paying homage to you because you inspired me.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so here's a deep one for you. Since let's say for all arguments, the guy actually did use AI generated 3D models, which I didn't know they already had AI 3D models already out there, but I'm guessing.
I told you.
I know yours was working on it, but I didn't know like there was already one out there. I thought there was like one in works.
That's the whole point I was trying to make. The programs, the AI programs for that shit already exist. It is possible right now.
Okay.
If you got the money to have the program, you can do it.
So let's just say the guy did use this AI program model maker. But he had an idea of what the gameplay was, right? He had an idea what the game wanted to do, how they wanted to act, how you can interact with them, the world, the entire idea. But then he just used the AI generator to make the models to interact or do those functionalities. Is that a better way of making a video game get to a point where, in my thoughts here, like better, like let's say you want to make your own Pokemon game. Well, you have all the ideas about it, but you just don't have the critters. Well, you just throw the critters in the game. You have them do those functionalities until you get to a point going, okay, this is where I want to be, and this is the people like it. And now I can perfect it. Can AI be used that way without being theft?
Here's my opinion for whatever it's worth. Okay, I see two distinct arguments. There's upsides and downsides to that, just like anything.
Everything, yes.
Okay. So the upside is yes, it may allow you to take your vision, your initial vision, and get it a reality faster.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's people that is paid to do that job, and you just shit them out of work.
That you could have paid them for, even though you're probably a small, like let's say a small industry.
Right. I mean, well, Nintendo didn't start out being a multi-billion-dollar company. They started out in a fucking garage somewhere, probably.
Yeah.
That guy didn't have a whole lot of money to pay people to help him either.
A bunch of skeleton crew people, and
The point is, everything has to start somewhere. Now, AI can speed it up, make it better, make it happen faster, and you can get to making that money quicker, and that's all well and fine. I get people want to make money, they want to live comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, those are the people that bitch about unemployment lines. And well, I'll be quite honest, you just took like 20 or 30 jobs from people that do that shit for a living.
Yeah. Can you imagine how many people that well, all those critters? I don't know how many critters or pals are in this games, but you got the world, you got the the Fortnite building, models. You got the critters, you got the humans, you got the creator character developer screen where you develop your character. That's a lot of people that has to do that kind of stuff, and they just went, small crew, and did all that work. Yes, Sal? That's just like high school. I swear.
Here's my thing is I'm split. Hang on, go ahead, Stealthy.
That's why I do that, because.
Yeah, I know.
If I speak, people tend to talk over me. Even you do it, whether you want to admit it or not.
Sorry.
But what I was trying to say is that the other thing that people aren't taking into account is, yes, you can make something similar and all that stuff. But if you make it too similar and then you're using that character to do things that someone doesn't like, for example, there are people out there that, let's be honest, I think it's rule either 34 or 42 of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that are not happy with the fact that they have characters doing that.
Yeah, of their artwork, or of their creatures or their themes.
And then on top of that, they're making money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
There's reasons why it's.
Well, I mean,
morally, it is wrong.
Here,
get down to the nitty-gritty of it. Legally, what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Morally, ethically, it's wrong.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, for example, a game that we all share, we all love, Genshin.
Mm-hmm.
How many of our characters in Genshin are being used by other people in nefarious ways that weren't intended to be used that way?
You mean like the 3D downloads that I was looking at the other day, that all of them had very, very either skimpy clothing or they had no clothing at all? You mean those?
There's those. There's the videos that are being made for gratification purposes.
They're out there.
I mean, they're there.
Yeah. I will say Genshin Impact though it does have a negative side to it. Genshin Impact did say from the very start, you want to create something of our stuff, go right ahead. We won't hold you to it. We won't sue you. You can make money off of it. And that's one thing Genshin Impact did. I think it was kind of smart, because whether or not you ask, that you give them permission, people will still do it. Like, we didn't ask you to do that. We told you not to. People will still do it, because
what they did, what was smart in making that statement for them was that they are no longer held accountable
or
for
reliable.
what people do with those characters,
mm-hmm.
or liable. So that was smart. The point is, though, for example, my kids play that game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happens if they type in the search one day, best build for Ganyu, and they don't get the stat build, but they get a different type of build?
Yeah, a more of a how muscular or how well they are off. Yeah, I can see that.
They are.
Yeah.
So, yes, while it may be legal, it's not necessarily moral.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm having fun with the game. Though I need to do some things. Like yesterday, I had it running it on my my stream and my game running up my GPU when I switched it over to my CPU. So hopefully I'll be able to play a little bit better today. I'm having fun with the game, and I hope Nintendo, with how much money they made off this is an awakening to Nintendo. Because I've said before, I grew up with Pokemon, and I am that generation of Pokemon, but I'm an adult now. Not saying don't make kid versions of the game, but you can still cater to your more adult people. And even if you slightly dumb it, tone it down a little bit, you can still make pretty much close to Power World without going the more mature things. I would like to see Pokemon fighting each other like the TV show. I would like to be out in the world and be endangered by the Pokemon that may pursue me or come after me. I like the idea of exploration and survivability in this world. Arceus was really close to that, and I entirely enjoyed Arceus, even though it did not do great in sales, but I think this is a showing that is going to be really good. But someone did make a mod for Pal World that was Pokemon, and immediately Nintendo took that down. Like, quick, like in a hurry. Somebody decided to mod all Pal World and put a bunch of Pokemon in there, and they did not like that. So that was kind of funny. They even had Ash, had Pikachu, and all the rest of them. So
here's the thing. Now there's people out there modding versions of Dragon Ball Z to do this shit. I mean, I sat there and watched a video the other day where Piccolo sat on a roof and watched everybody massacring themselves.
That way before that.
I know that. But my point is, it's happening, though.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to a lot of shit.
Yeah, people really...
It's actually Dragon Ball Z copying Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
They sold those rights to Fortnite.
But they said Fortnite did buy the rights for Dragon Ball Z at some point, and those characters did show up in the game. But I'm just saying, like, the anime is becoming more prevalent, and they want to see more of their favorite things inside their video games. Like Call of Duty even did it for Attack on Titan. You name it, I'm surprised World of Warcraft hasn't done it yet, but it happens all the time. And I think that more, at least in the Western, us Americans, more that we're willing to accept that culture is a thing and put in our, people want to see that in their video games, we're better off than trying to just combat it and be the fight and offensive against it. And I think Power World is just a show. It's a system of people's desire and want, and then someone decided to hit that industry or hit that field of like, hey, we see a want, so we're gonna feel it now. We know what the want is. Here it is, and they made a lot of money for it. And I've always tried to do it for myself, for my podcast, through my streams. I try to always be that guy that's always trying to stand out in some way, to be hitting a need and a want, but haven't hit it there. So let's see where we at. I can't. My OBS is being covered up here. I don't know.
We're about 13 minutes over.
We're at 13. Okay. Let's see. Lord Paston said. So Power World recommends is a 270, which I don't got, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Or so if you use the that in world means you need more than 32 gigabytes just to have room on your PC overhead. I have a lot of gigabytes. I just don't have a 2070 or higher. I'm just gonna try. We managed to play for a little bit, and like yesterday, it was a steady decline into like it was playable, and then it just kept declining into it was like unplayable. So that's one more question I'm gonna ask you before we get off. What do you feel like? How do you feel that even though it's a small industry or a small company, a lot more companies nowadays are releasing games in alpha or beta, and then having you pay for that to test run your games for them? Like, how do you feel like that is that a good thing for the industry, or is that a bad thing? I can't feel like this is a little bit of a bad thing. I feel like they're putting.
Listen, I don't want to pay them to test run their games for them.
Yeah,
I would like for them to pay me to test run their games for them because I'm technically an employee at that point.
Yeah,
but I don't want it the other way around.
Like I feel like if I'm playing your game to try to optimize it for every computer, you gotta pay me, but I'm paying you to play your game early and it's buggy and I can't very much play it. That's not very much enjoyable. I don't really see, like, if you're playing a top line computer, I'm sure it's gonna work great, but if you're a little lower down on the SKU, You have a, and especially again, $189 million. That's a lot of people playing your games. That's a lot of different computers.
Yep.
And you're not testing it at all. Even though you're a small company, if you're a bigger company too, you definitely shouldn't be doing that because you should afford testers. You should have a lot of money to pay somebody to test your systems and test your games. I'm getting tired of it. It's getting old. Stop putting your tests on your player base.
If you want to give it to me for free to test it,
yeah,
I'll do that.
Free's not a problem.
If you want to pay me to test it, I'll damn sure do that. But don't expect me to pay you to test your game to fix it for you.
Yeah,
that's kind of stupid.
I thought the game was out, and then Lord Pestilence actually when I got it for me, I'm like, oh, it's not out. It's an alpha, beta. What the? And I started playing it, and after a while, I was like, yeah, I can see this as being alpha beta. There's still a lot of things that need to be worked on. Like, I had one, like, literally go up a steep hill, like, almost a 90 degrees, came up there, climbed up there without climbing or anything, just ran up it and killed me. I'm like, that's BS. Anyways, thank you for all showing me today. I do appreciate it. We have more clips or shorts coming out. If you haven't already watched them, please go watch them. Yesterday, some of them from Power Word actually did really great. I'll be playing a little bit. I'm going to eat real fast. And I'll see y'all next week. As always, have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.
1, 2, 3.